Now, if you want good stuff, go on offer up and buy replacement.
Yeah.
I learned that a gift keeps on giving.
Hey Jim, how's it going?
Pretty good.
You still alive?
False alarm.
Killed it. He's playing games lately.
I made a boo-boo. There's some brain fog going on around here.
Are we going to cut that part of the thing out?
It's your fault, Bruce. All right. Come on now.
Well, I had no heartbeat for one of your tests, so that may be an indicator.
I got these three going to revival tonight.
Yeah?
We're going to be
Yeah.
revived.
Well, then I better get moving.
Yeah,
They said
means
they had to leave
we need to leave early because it's raining out.
What is going on here?
Revival.
Okay.
At church. Okay. His church.
We heard they're serving pizza tonight.
Are they? I didn't hear that.
Well, you were running it.
That's a good deal. Why are we getting sick on here? This is not good.
It's not a good time.
Okay.
Plan B.
May want to just put the music back on. We still have 5 minutes officially before we start, right?
According to my account, too.
We're in daylight savings time though,
You're a piece of work. You know that?
Should be getting over that.
That's why your kids keep coming back. You just enjoy the entertainment.
so I changed the
There
locks.
we go. Just a loose wire.
When did
That's
you
all
get-
it takes.
When did you get a red body?
I'm on fire, man. I'm on fire.
Eish.
All right.
That not a core 5?
Let's just start. Are we rolling?
We're rolling.
Okay. We are not jumping up and down. We are just happy to be here. Woohoo! Turn to your neighbor and say woohoo! Woohoo! Yeah, I like that one. Who did that? That was good. Give her a round of applause. Thank you. All right, welcome everyone. So tonight you picked a good one. This is our fat burning fitness / weight loss. Every month we have a life-changing event. These are the nuts and bolts that help you get results. And so I know that's why you guys are here. Right or right?
Right.
All right, so if you don't have our workshop card for 2024, this is our 25th year of doing workshops every single month. And there are some of you in this room who have been there right along the way. Deborah, Denise, Jim, Bruce, Laurel. Most of you guys have probably been to 100 or more of these workshops, right? Raise your hand if you've been to 5 or more workshops. Good. 10 or more? 20 or more? 50, 100? We already know that code. All right, give yourself a round of applause for that. That's awesome. Really proud of you guys. You know, our saying is when you stop learning, you stop growing, and when you stop growing, you start dying. Jim's even, I could see his lips moving. He already knows it before the words come out of his mouth. Can you guys hear me okay? Tomorrow, can you hear me back there all right? Okay. So next month, we have our detox workshop, and this is a really important one because it's going to trail off some of the things that you learned tonight. Weight loss, believe it or not, has or weight loss resistance has plenty to do with toxicity. So I'm just going to cover a small part of it tonight, but the follow-up will be next month. So please keep that in mind. And as we continue to scroll through, we look at the reason why we're here tonight. And for many of us, there's frustration. You know, sometimes I get way off my good nutritional habits, and you know, I can start feeling my pants get tight. Anybody else have that experience? You know, and it's like you're frustrated, and then your pants get tight, and sometimes it gets so bad that you can't actually close your button, and you get discouraged, and you know, you go shopping and you get new clothes, and you spend more money, and this is like it's not something that happens once. It usually, you know, it's a repeating cycle. And you know, when you put on weight, you don't have less energy, and you don't have more energy. I'm sorry, you have less and less energy. Energy's a problem, and then before you know it, it sneaks up on you. you go to the doctor and there you go. You're looking at your blood pressure and your blood sugar, and now you're standing looking at a prescription pad that's being torn off, telling you to go, and there goes upping your dosage of your current medications, even more other prescriptions on top of that. Not to mention, all of a sudden you start hurting. You know, this hurts more often, that hurts more often, my back hurts more often. Well, all that is all stemming from what's happening going on inside of you with weight gain, or your body fat percentage. All that has a causative and a root factor, and I want to touch in on some of that tonight. So, how many of you guys have tried a diet before? How many of you guys, leave your hands up if you've done it more than once? Yes. A regular repeating offender, most of us are, and the problem is that if the diets worked, we'd lose the weight and it would what? It would stay off. But always when you lose weight, you know what happens. It always comes back if you diet. If you're just cutting and conserving calories, and you don't really have the strategy to fix the metabolism, we're doomed for failure. So here's why diets don't work. You count calories, you starve yourself, and basically you're slowing your metabolism down in the process of doing that. If you're just standing on a scale because you're cutting calories and you're really eating less, you may be watching the scale go down, you may lose 10 or 15 pounds, but if you really have no strategy and technology to target the fat, what are you losing? Muscle and water. Does that sound like a healthy approach? Not so good. So unless you burn fat and reset your metabolism, you're always going to gain the weight back, because in that process of just losing weight and dumping water and muscle, you're slowing your metabolism down. As you conserve calories, your metabolism slows down to accommodate for that starvation process. Kind of like a bear hibernating in the winter. Makes sense, right? So in the end, it always comes back up, the weight, and then some on top of it. So we have to get to the core, the source, and the root of why we don't get results permanently, and that comes down to one word that starts with an M, and it sounds like metabolism. Everybody say metabolism. Metabolism. Good, you're still awake. So right now I want to talk to you about the keys to correcting your metabolism, and this is on your syllabus. Did everybody get a syllabus? Raise your hand if you did not get a syllabus. Deborah and Tamara will come around right now and grab you one. How about a pencil? You need a pencil with that? Okay, keep your hands up and we'll bring you a syllabus. Unless you don't want one, then you won't raise your hand. Keys to correcting your metabolism. The first fill-in is optimal nerve supply. There are 3 keys to correcting your metabolism. How many keys? 3. So the first one is optimal nerve supply. Second one is balancing your hormones. And then the final one is eliminating toxins. So the first one is optimal nerve supply. The second one is balancing your hormones. And the third one is eliminating toxins. Everybody have that? All right, so now we're going to break each one down. We're going to go into all these individually. Are you ready? Say aye. Aye. Okay, optimal nerve supply. What does this have to do with weight loss? Well, studies show, and we know this from medical textbook, that few exceptions, as a quote, hormone deficiency and hormone excess is the result of pathological manifestation in neural pathways. What kind of pathways? Neural pathways. What is the prominent neural pathway that controls all function in your body? It's the brain, down the spinal cord, out through all the spinal nerves. And if there's pathological manifestation of that, if there's an interruption in the communication going out to any of the organs that control your hormones or neurotransmitters, that's going to disturb the normal metabolism. So getting into that, additionally, from another institute, it said spinal lesions of the atlas and axis. Who can tell me what the name of the top bone is? What is it? Atlas. Very good. Sing the song, Judith. Sing it. She says, every time I ask her, she's like, at last, at last. No, we're off by 1 T. It's not at last. It's Atlas. There we go. Okay. So C1 and C2, atlas and axis, associated with abnormal function of the pituitary, which resulted in what? What does that say? Abnormal hormone secretions. Don't hormones have to do with weight loss or weight loss resistance or your metabolism? Of course, 100%. So you know that the bones in your spine, are kind of like the breakers in your circuits, the circuit breaker in your power panel. They determine whether or not that power is going to flow through the panel, right? And get out to all the different rooms in your house. So if the panel is out, it shuts off the power. If the vertebrae are out of normal position, it's shutting off the proper nerve supply. And now it doesn't go off completely like a breaker switch, but it's more or less like standing on a garden hose. And when that disturbs the normal communication to those organs that control or are involved with hormones or neurotransmitters, you start to develop problems. Particularly in the upper cervical area, we know that that controls your sympathetic nervous system. Everybody say sympathetic. Okay, what's the antagonist part of the nervous system to the sympathetic? The parasympathetic, right? Everybody remembers that, right? So the parasympathetic is for rest and recovery, slows down your heart rate, digestion, respiration. The sympathetic raises all that, and when you're stressed out, it's an overdrive, right? How does that work for your metabolism? Not so good. Because when you're stressed out, cortisol goes up. That's a hormone, right? And what cortisol takes up with is insulin. That's a hormone, right? And what does insulin do? It doesn't help you with burning fat. It helps you with storing fat, right? Everybody got that? So when you're subluxated to that list, that could be the number one factor that can cause weight gain and stop you from losing that more than anything else. Who's in the room that I asked you before we came to the workshop? I asked you, do you know what the number one factor is? You remember that, Denise? You're smiling. It's coming back to you now, right? Some of you in the room, I asked you. David, I asked you. Do you know what the number one factor is over and above anything else that would give you a problem with weight loss resistance? And what is it? Your atlas. Yeah. So, probably didn't know that, but now you do. Thyroid, if you're subluxated at the bottom of your neck, messes up your thyroid. Your thyroid has an affinity for toxins, for attracting toxins, and if that slows your thyroid down, you're in big trouble with your weight, right? Same thing with your liver. Your liver is either going to store sugar or it's going to burn it. And if you have subluxation there and it cannot manage your sugar properly, you're more than likely on your way to fat storage. Not to mention, your liver is part of one of the detoxification organs, that and the kidneys as well. And if you can't get rid of those toxins, your body's going to make more fat to protect your body from the damage and the harm caused by those. Making sense, right? And then last but not least, you have your reproductive organs, and they're involved with hormones as well, right? So this is how it works with your nervous system. You could eat good, you could exercise, you could do Jenny Craig and Weight Watchers, and at the end of the day, if you're subluxated, it's all for naught, wasting time and wasting money. The most important thing is keeping your nerve channels clear, having regular chiropractic care for a lifetime, and then on top of that, when you have these ancillary programs, you're destined for success. It's almost a certainty. So make sure you're always getting your nervous system checked, number one. Number two, we said to balance the hormones, right? We got to balance the hormones. So looking at exercise alone, research is coming out more and more and more showing how the body, it's never too late to get on an exercise program, and your body can adapt to the benefits of exercising at any age. I was reading a research article today of an Irishman. I think he was 95 years old or 94 years old, and they were marveling at him. They published him in a study because he's a rowing champion, and he was put on this special machine to look at his cardiovascular output, and they found that it was more efficient than somebody in their 40s. They were amazed not only at his maximum heart rate, which was 154. Can you imagine that, Jim? Right? Can you imagine your heart rate being at 154? I mean, at your age now, let alone in your 90s. Not only were they amazed at that he could sustain that for long periods of time, but also how quickly it got up there, which shows adaptability in terms of cardiorespiratory fitness. So what they are finding now is exactly what I've been telling you for years and years and years, and especially over the last few years, which is every single day do exercise, right, for somewhere between 30 and 40 minutes. And then they also mentioned in that clip, in that study, how resistance training is important. What kind of training? Resistance training. So in this, more is better. All-cause survival is two times better than vigorous exercise. if you can just do something consistently, whether it's a brisk walk, swimming, biking, it doesn't matter. But pertaining to weight loss and making sure that you get your hormones balanced, there's a couple of things that can benefit you if you do it first thing in the morning. You can influence your hormones and create balance with your hormones if you exercise first thing in the morning as opposed to later in the day. Now, better late than never. If you can't do it early in the morning, but if you can, you have the benefit of raising growth hormone. So when you exercise on an empty stomach, you can influence how much growth hormone your body can secrete. That's a fill-in, by the way, on your handout. So growth hormone, it raises, exercise early in the morning helps to raise what? Growth hormone. The second thing we find in first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, testosterone is at its highest. Testosterone. So what is important? You guys, come on up front, guys. Come on up front. What's important? That's how we penalize the latecomers. Those whom we love the most, we must chastise. I'm glad you made it. So what's the deal with testosterone and growth hormone? What is it necessary to make? Muscle. Muscle. And muscle is a determinant for a healthy metabolism. You don't want to lose muscle when you're trying to improve your metabolism. You want to what? Gain muscle. Yes. Does this start to make sense? Insulin in the morning is at its lowest. When you have a fasting glucose, it's usually going to be at its lowest first thing in the morning. That is if you don't abuse yourself the night before, right? You wake up, insulin is going to be at its lowest, and that is prime time for fat burning. And then also, as we said, it stimulates your metabolism, especially all of this on an empty stomach, and you're more likely to exercise more consistently if you block off that time first thing in the morning. Doesn't that make sense? And so if you want to balance your hormones and give yourself that advantage, that's the best time to do it. So the alternating routine would be walk, ride, swim, like I said, let's say, for example, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. On your alternate days, a good thing to do would be resistance training. And when you do the resistance training, weightlifting or heavy hands or bands, anything that you can do there that'll actually target muscle building in some way, shape, or form. And the resistance training, you want to do that somewhere between 2 or 3 times a week. The other stuff you're going to do 3 to 4 times a week. So, I'll pretty much do some form of exercise every day. Do I exert myself strenuously every day? No. But I would say twice a week, I'll just do a brisk walk. The other days of the week, two days of the week, I do high intensity cardio, because I'm just trying to push the upper limits of my cardiorespiratory fitness, and I'm using technology to look at my fitness age. And one of my goals this year is, as I turn 55, I want to have the cardiorespiratory fitness age of a 45-year-old. So that's what I'm working towards. I have 2 high-intensity workouts there, and then the other days are weight training, 3 days of weight training. So that's what my routine looks like. But I am encouraging you to do something every day. Even if you did a brisk walk every day. So is this starting to make sense, guys? And if you do this, you will have every edge, reasonably speaking, to get this and get some momentum going with your weight loss program. The third thing on your handout is eliminating toxins. So when the first blank you want to fill in here is sugar, because sugar is a toxin. Sugar is a what? Toxin. Yeah, it's a toxin. Sugar is a drug, and it has the same effect on your body as bad fats and all types of environmental toxins. It has the same type of problem. It causes acidity, it causes inflammation, and this is what causes fat storage. It's one of the main causes. So we know we gotta eliminate that. Toxins, you need to eliminate toxins. That's your fill in there. Toxins affect the what? The thyroid. For some reason, they have an affinity. They are attracted to the thyroid. And when your thyroid is affected at that level significantly, one of the most common things that we see is an underactive thyroid. That's when your metabolism slows down, and then weight management becomes a big problem. So your body also uses fat to store toxins. Toxins are dangerous. Cumulatively, over a period of time, they are deadly. They cause brain damage, they cause dementia, it causes Alzheimer's, it can cause an ungodly amount of symptoms and health problems. And your body knows this innately, but your body can't necessarily get rid of them. At a certain point, it starts to spill over into symptoms. And especially in the brain, there's really no way to get rid of them unless you have a specific protocol to pull toxins out of your brain, which I'm going to talk about next month. But your body knows this, and as a survival mechanism, what your body does is it makes more fat to protect itself from the toxins. And where that occurs is at the surface of the cell. Every cell in your body, every red blood cell, every white blood cell, all the cells are made up of fat. What are they made of? Fat. All along the cell wall. And that's where the toxins attack the cells, and they become dangerous and serious. And so your body, what it does innately, it just knows it has to make more fat to protect itself. Weight loss resistance comes from toxicity in that form and fashion. And then last but not least, we have hydrogenated oils. Everybody's familiar with this, right?
Yeah.
These are the bad fats. They cause acidity and inflammation. Also at the surface of the cell. And these lurk beneath the surface of our radar, and they go deep beyond the threshold of what we're conscious of. So I'm going to show you what to look for here, but just remember, if you get this, you got something big to take with you. If you lose the toxins, you lose the what?
Fat.
And if you lose the fat, you lose the what? Toxins. They go hand in hand. So again, make sure you're here next month so we can learn more about that. So you want to avoid toxic foods. Many of these foods that are toxic are diet foods. They're diet foods like Crystal Light, sucralose, the pink packets, the blue packets, the sugar substitutes. They are the absolute worst things for you. You know that they cause cancer in laboratory animals. And so, aside of that, they cause a major disruption to the neurotransmitters and the hormones that are necessary for you to lose weight. So it throws your hormones and your neurotransmitters way out of balance the more of these diet foods that you have. Lean cuisine, Weight Watchers, Diet Coke. The worst thing that you can do is have these foods in your daily consumption. Because the more that you do that, the harder it is going to be to keep things in balance. Is this starting to make sense? Yeah, and you can't trick your body. These artificial sweeteners, your brain perceives it no different than regular sugar. And so it still provokes an insulin response. And now studies are proving that it actually causes diabetes just as bad as everything else that we know is bad. That's amazing, isn't it? You can't outsmart the intelligence that God created you with. It's in there. It knows what to do. So just make sure that you are reading labels. That's the only way to know. We don't expect you to be an expert at this, but if you look at the labels and you see anything that says that word hydrogenated, vegetable oil, hydrogenated oils, don't walk, run. Keep that out of your pantry and throw it in the garbage. Don't give it to your neighbor. So you look at all these things and you have a really good idea of what not to do, right? Okay, so hopefully that's making sense. So on the other hand, conversely, you want to stay away from the bad fats, but you want to add good fats. Why? Good fats don't make you fat. Good fats help you to burn fat. Good fats are the fuel that your brain, your heart, and your body needs, all the cells need to maintain normal function. And when your body is highly toxic, when there's lots of sugar, when there's lots of inflammation, your body needs these fats to heal and repair. Does that make sense? You say yes? Yeah. Good. You're still awake. You're doing well. So I know sometimes in our history, our family, our habits, our lingo, our culture, they tell you to stay away from this stuff. Sometimes you'll even hear fancy medical doctors saying, stay away from coconut oil. It causes high cholesterol and heart disease. Junk science. Couldn't be further from the truth. And first of all, high cholesterol is not an imminent threat for heart disease. It's not. Come back for the Heart Smart workshop in a couple of months, and you'll learn that. I just had somebody, she was freaking out because she had a 230 cholesterol. I'm like, no, your HDL is good. So it's not how high your cholesterol is, the cholesterol ratio, and how much inflammation that you have. So you need to understand these things, and you'll get that here at the workshop. So what I'm telling you is that these will help decrease inflammation. Anytime you can decrease inflammation, lower inflammation, you're lowering your risk of heart disease, cancer, diabetes, and helping your body unload unwanted fat. Right? That's what you're here for. So you got to make sure you're loading up on these avocados, almonds, coconut oil, coconuts, grass-free, grass-fed butter, olives. You see green tea and coffee down there. Obviously, those are not fats, but they are fat burning. You know, so when they're organic and they're mountain grown and they're not full of toxins, have at it. You know, and it'll help you get into fat burning the same as the rest of these good fats. Make sense? All right. So the other thing, make sure that you're realistic with is, you know, you're not going to get away with it if you're eating this stuff. These carbs, you know, bread, pasta, rice, cereal, potatoes. When that happens, you see that green arrow down there? It's pointing to something called insulin. Insulin's going to go up, and when insulin goes up because you ate those things, now your body's not burning fat, it is storing fat. It's a hormonal response. Fat burning comes down to just one thing, hormonal response. And that's the one thing and only thing that'll fix your metabolism. So the only way to fix your metabolism is to get your insulin levels under control. And the key to doing that is making sure that you just eliminate that. Now, once you get it under control, then there's a time and place where you can have this and enjoy it from time to time. But not every day, and certainly not when you're on your way to trying to see good results with your health, right? So it all comes down to hormones. It's not calories. You'll look at that picture, and because of the programming you've had before, you're thinking, well, a piece of bread or this pasta or that serving of rice is only so many calories. It's not the calories. Turn to your neighbor and say, it's not the calories. What did you say? You just said it's not the calories. You got to remember that. It's not the calories. You can have two potato chips, 2 little Pringles, and say to yourself, it's just 2 Pringles. It can't be more than 25 calories. But guess what? You just provoked an insulin response. Darn it. So now you're getting it, right, Mike? Now you're getting it. It doesn't matter how many calories. It doesn't matter how little amount that is. What matters is what happens biochemically as a result of the choice that you just made. And this is where the rubber meets the road, guys. Once you can understand that, the effect of these foods chemically in your body, then you can get this under control. We've been so brainwashed. I mean, if you go to your local grocery store and you look at the label on a freshly baked bread, you'll look at that and you'll be horrified. Flour, wheat flour, you know, all these, you know, corn syrup, vegetable oil. So we got to read the labels. That's the only way that we're going to be in control of this. All right. So all these things, Cheerios, potatoes, you know, you got to get away from that. If you want to keep your insulin levels stable, you have to go with this. And this is what will give your body the proper biochemical response to keep insulin stable. If you keep your insulin stable all day long, you will stay in fat burning, right? And this is what you want. This is why you're here. These are the choices that need to be made. When you look at that, that's the correct food pyramid. That is not what we learned in elementary school, is it? What we learned in elementary school is that bottom part of the food pyramid: bread, pasta, rice, potatoes, bagels, cereal, all that stuff that gives you obesity and diabetes, which is great for the drug companies. Keeps the money trail moving, but it's not good for you and I. So these are the choices we need to make. You know, if you stick with foods that will not provoke an insulin response, which you see right there, what are they? Proteins, vegetables, low sugar fruits, nuts, butters, oils. You have some dairy up there if your body can handle it. Some people can. Yogurt, yep, sugar-free, Greek yogurt. So now you're starting to get it. That's the hormonal response that you will see for fat storage. So here's some examples. This is my breakfast pretty much every day. I'll have the complete clean shake because it's got the protein I need in it after my workout. It's got all the vitamins, it's got a low-level detox, so I'll have that. I'll mix it with some almond milk or coconut milk, or you can mix it with water. In that picture, you also see almond butter, and then I'll put my berries on a plate, a small serving of that, and that's my breakfast. And that good fat is the key to giving you some sort of satiety value between your meals. If you don't fill up on bread and carbs, and you don't have fats, you're going to be hungry. If you just fill up, on your proteins and your fruits, but you don't have any fats, probably you're going to be hungry shortly after. So you have to have good fat with every meal. You have to have good what?
Fat.
Good fat with every meal. So you see your almond butter there, you got your Greek yogurt there, which is, there shouldn't be any sugar. If you get the Greek yogurt, it should be high in protein. There should be no sugars. You'll see carbs in there, but no sugars. And then you have your scrambled eggs and vegetables. Here you have your salad with your protein on top of it, salmon or a Greek salad. Lots of good fats in there. Here you have a bowl with chicken and avocado and kale, some sweet potato. You have your extra virgin olive oil, which should be your dressing of choice wherever you go. Whatever restaurant you're in, even if you're at home. Any other dressing, not good for you. Here's your dinner. What do you have? Lamb. You could have a ribeye. You could have a piece of chicken. It doesn't matter. What do you not see there? You have broccoli, and what do you not see there? Your bread, your carbs, your rice, your potatoes, your pasta, whatever it is. But you can put some butter on there. You can on your meat. You can put some olive oil on your vegetables. You can have a salad also. There again, same thing. You have your protein and your veggies. Here again, you have your stir-fried, missing the what? Rice. But you're looking at meals that are tasty. They're inviting. But again, your emphasis should be on the proteins, vegetables, and fats, as opposed to the proteins, vegetables, and carbs. Right? The carbs need to be replaced with the fats for fuel. And your body will do better with that, and it will get into fat burning a lot more efficiently. So the Ultraflex Complete Clean, you guys know this. Many of you use it. I can't say enough good things about it in terms of saving time, saving money, killing all the birds with one stone. You have one easy way to keep your insulin levels stable. First thing in the morning, when you roll out of bed, and you want a breakfast. You don't have to be thinking about grabbing waffles. You don't have to be thinking about having cereal or a croissant or this or that. You have your Ultraflex Complete Clean. And you have something that's going to keep you in fat burning all day. And that's the best way to start with that. Now when you look at the label, you'll see some things here that will help you with fat burning. Turmeric extract. Turmeric is like curcumin. It's an anti-inflammatory. And then you have N-acetylcysteine, which is a precursor for glutathione, which is a master antioxidant in your body, which helps your body detox. Then you have green tea, which helps with fat burning. So these are just a couple of things that, again, support the usage for everything that we're talking about tonight. And then, of course, you have your complete multivitamin spectrum there. Vitamin A, C, all your B vitamins, magnesium, zinc, selenium. So that's why I do this, and I still take other supplements on top of it. But I can tell you, bang for the buck, it's hard to beat this, and I would recommend that everybody try it. It's a great thing for breakfast. You can make smoothies with it for lunch. You can make veggie smoothies, and it comes in vanilla or chocolate. And so, great recommendation for you tonight. All right, so we do have our raffle. It's time for our raffle. Deborah, that's your alarm going off. That's your alarm going off? Is that your car? I'm going to let Judith pick.
Better pick me?
Oh, you got to let me read it. Okay, you guys ready? Here it is. Lucky winner for a $50 Amazon gift card. Okay. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Got your ears on? 216-113. Woohoo! Winner, winner! Chicken dinner! Nice.
Yeah.
Wait, that's not yours? Give it back. No, I'm just kidding. Thank Judas, she picked it.
25 is mine.
Awesome.
I give you the envelope.
All right, so here we go. Are you guys getting something good tonight?
Yeah.
Are you enjoying it? Good. I'm not looking for applause as far as what my work here, Reggie, but what I am looking for is opportunity. I love doing this, and the only reason why I'm still doing this after 30 years is because very little thrills me more than watching people see victory with their health in their life. And anytime, we present this, especially for people who've never heard it before, they're blown away and they're encouraged. And we plant seeds and lives are changed. And that's great for all of you guys who are here. But anytime I've ever gone out there and done this in the community, I always hear people say, like, how come I never heard about this? Or somebody standing in front of me with tears rolling down their face saying, what took you so long to find it? So I'm asking for opportunities. And we're working on right now a lead contest. If you weren't at the last workshop, you have this in the bottom far right corner there. You see a lead raffle contest. That's part of your handout. And what that is for you to do is to think carefully about a group, whether it's at your church or place of work or worship or whatever, wherever. If there's a group of people that you can get together or you can bring me to, I would love the opportunity to come be a blessing, to donate my time. And normally we do this in the form of Heart Smart Nutrition, cancer prevention, diabetes reversal, or brain health. These are the diseases that are hurting and destroying lives more than anything these days. So wherever you work, wherever you're thinking, we do a lunch and learn. We cater a lunch, and we bring that, and we just lavish our love and our appreciation on our community, and that's how we invest in people. So please write down the name, number, whoever the leader is in your organization, and give it to Deborah and Tamara up front. And we're going to enter you into a raffle. We're parlaying this into the next workshop, and I believe it's for $250. And it's a gift certificate you can use to anything here in the office, to care or supplements or whatever you want. But please, there's people out there that are waiting for me to show up, and you never know how far-reaching something you think, say, or do will really help people. So please help me do that. That's the opportunity I'm looking for. Tear that off, give it to them up front before you leave, all right? Appreciate you. Thank you. All right, so let me make sure the volume is up on this. And I want you to pay careful attention to this. You have not seen this before. And this is going to speak to all of us, because this points to something insidious that there's no way that you know what's going on until it's too late. Appreciate your liver. It works hard for you. The question is, which liver do you want? Really, a better question is which liver do you think you might have? You know, my mom passed away last June. She had an MRI done just a couple of months before she passed away. I read the results, and that's what it was. And yeah, she loved her sugar. Between that and the chemotherapy, when I read the results, I knew how bad it was. It's a very serious condition. You need your liver. When your liver quits, that's it. Game over. We don't play with the liver. And the problem is you can't see it. You don't know it until it's too late. And yes, we can reverse it, but the earlier you get started addressing it, the better. Your body mass index is one way of telling you which way that's trending. And your body mass index is how the World Health Organization classifies it. It's your height-weight ratio. And we know that, the healthy range is somewhere between 18.5 and 23. When you go 23 over, you're overweight. 27.5 over that, over 30, then you're in trouble. Highest risk for heart disease, cancer, diabetes, fatty liver disease. So studies show if your BMI is over 30, you have an 80% greater risk of cancer of the kidney, liver, and stomach. Did you know that? If your BMI is over 30, then you have a 50% increased risk of brain tumor and pancreatic cancer. If your BMI is over 30, this is important if you know this or not, you have a 30% increase of bowel and gallbladder cancer. And it just keeps going. It doesn't get any better. It just keeps getting worse. So that's why the BMI is so important, not only for your risk of cancer, but also fatty liver disease, and really everything else that follows after that. So how do you really know which way you're trending? And, if you really need to put a lot of emphasis and focus on this now or not. One way to do it is to look at a body composition analysis. Body composition analysis allows you to stand on a scale. It's a biometric scale. You take your shoes and socks off, and it puts a low-level electrical impulse through your skin. And there's an algorithm and there's technology involved where it allows the computer to break it down into fat, muscle, water, and your metabolic age, your body mass index, and it gives you a printout and a readout. So you'll know what your weight is, you'll know what your BMI is, you'll know what your body fat percentage is, you'll know what your body fat mass is, how much fat you're actually carrying relative to your body weight. Your visceral fat, which is indicative of whether or not you're trending to or already have fatty liver disease. The visceral fat is the amount of fat that wraps around, suffocates, and strangulates your organs. Some of you have watched the video with Dr. Oz, right? So that needs to be below 12, that visceral fat. Crucially important. Your body water percentage, it figures, and then your metabolic age. Your metabolic age, if you're 65 years old, what should your metabolic age be? At least 65. It'd be great if it's below it. It would be working better. But if you're 65 and your metabolic age is 90, it's working like a turtle. And you know what? In some cases, it's higher than 90, but it won't register more than 90. So everybody's different with that. But I want to give you a good case study here. This is an actual patient. Sybil was a patient of mine many years ago. I have her x-rays from 2011, before she had back surgery. And she was overweight then, and I adjusted her, and she got out of pain, and then she stopped coming. I hadn't seen her for a while, but I did a talk at my church not too long ago, and she came in. And when I asked her, I said, "What are you here for?" She says, "Well, I have neuropathy in my feet." And I looked at her back, and she already had surgery. She got screws going into her bones. And I'm like, well, here's what I can do, and here's what I cannot do. I cannot adjust your spine in this area where the nerves are coming out and are being impinged, causing the neuropathy. She said the neuropathy started after her surgery. Good reason to not have spinal surgery. But at any rate, what I said is, here's what I can do. We can work on your body mass and reducing that and reduce the inflammation. And here's the program I'm going to put you on. Let's start with the body composition analysis. Her legs were swollen. She was on medications. She couldn't stand for very long, and she couldn't hardly walk without a walker. So she was in bad shape, and when I gave her my recommendations, she said, "This is it. I'm ready to do whatever it takes." And I knew she was going to do well as soon as I heard that. And that's what she looked like when she started. This is actually her body composition analysis, what I just took you through. But I want you to see the date before and after. This is 5 weeks later. This was October 3rd when she started. Can you see the date up there? November 9th, so it's about 5 weeks later. She started at 227.4. She finished at 211.6. Now, she didn't stop. This was just there. She's continuing to do it on her own, and she's lost closer to 30 pounds now, I believe. But at this point, this was 15.8 pounds. Not bad, right? In just 5 weeks. But follow me here. Your body mass index, for the health part of this, which she knew was in jeopardy, she could see this going down. The BMI went down from 44.4 down to 41.3. Then the body fat went from 52.5 down to 50.1, her percentage. Some of you are thinking, well, that's only 2.5%. Shouldn't that be better? Well, look back up here. I want you to look up there. You see that line up there where it says fat mass? 119 pounds out of the 227 is what she was walking around with. 119 pounds of pure fat. Here. Hang on to that, Mike. How much do you think that weighs?
12 pounds?
It's 5 pounds. There's another one, just for good measure. Hang on to that. Now you got 10 pounds. Here's another one. There's 15 pounds. Now you can pass it on to Reggie. Now Reggie, I got 3 more I'm going to give you. What's 3? So what's 6 times 5?
15?
That's 15 pounds right there. Now that's just 3 of them. If we had 20 more, you get an idea of what she was walking around with. 20 more of those. You get an idea of why somebody needs a spinal surgery, why they can't walk, why their legs are swollen, why they're on 5 different medications, why they're aching all the time. You know why? Because this is a hormonal system, guys, that produces inflammatory cytokines, inflammatory hormones. It's a hormonal system in and of itself that drives inflammation, cancer, diabetes, heart disease, and Alzheimer's. So when you take this off of a person, can you just do that with a diet just by cutting calories? Is this what's going to be targeted? No. You're going to be dumping muscle and water. But here is how we know that we targeted the right thing. What did I show you up there? What does it say? Body fat mass is how much? 119? Okay, what does it say over here? 106. So how much fat did she lose? What's 119.2? 13.2 pounds. Her total weight loss was 15.8. So out of the 15.8 pounds, it was almost all what? Try that with a diet. Try that with conserving calories. That's not going to happen unless you have the technology and the strategy and the supervision and the diligence and the program materials to keep you on track to turn your body into a full-time fat-burning machine that it's going to target and incinerate that body fat only. That doesn't happen. There's nothing that will make that happen unless you have the right strategy in place to do that. And by the way, in order for body fat to come down, water has to go up. Even though she was carrying around a water bottle, how many of you guys drink water all day long? That doesn't mean that you're hydrated. If you have a mineral imbalance, you wouldn't necessarily know it, but all that water that's going in, the cells aren't grabbing it. It's not staying with the cells. It's flushing right back out. So she was drinking water all the time. She was at 34%. It's supposed to be between 45 and 60%. So you can see her hydration going up. You see her visceral fat went down from 20.3 down to 18.4. She checked all of the boxes. Now, she's got a long way to go, but can everybody see that not only did she look and feel better, but she's got an evidence-based outcome showing her this is for real, that she's correcting the cause of her metabolic dysfunction. She's correcting her metabolism, and she's doing great. So you can see the before and you can see the after picture, and she looks even better now because she's still going strong. So to date, she continues with her chiropractic adjustments. She continues to keep the weight off. She's still losing weight. Her blood pressure's better. Her blood sugar's better. She doesn't use her cane or a walker. She doesn't have her foot. Her foot neuropathy is gone. I didn't adjust her lower back, and her foot neuropathy is gone. She's getting back to serving in the kids ministry. That was the thing that broke her heart the most. When she had to have that spinal surgery and she became disabled, and I asked her, I'm like, what's the biggest reason why you want to do this? She's like, I want to get back to the kids ministry. And that was her big why. And that's where she's headed now. So, you know, she was just one of those people that just said, listen, I'm committed, just show me what to do. Sometimes people need a plan like that. And that's the type of plan that we have to help people achieve the results that they need. It's a 40-day system. It targets the fat loss and it resets your metabolism. Helps you take the guesswork out of it. It gives you a roadmap. Do this, this, and this. Don't do this. There's a clear plan with the workbook, and then you have a journal so that you journal every day what you're doing. So when you come in for your follow-up appointments, Deborah can see that. She can show you where you're on track or what you need to maybe correct a little bit. Maybe you need a little more water. Maybe you need a little more of this or that. And you have a follow-up protocol and an accountability partner who helps keep you on track to make sure that you hit your goals. It corrects your metabolism. Like I said, it incinerates that fat. It's doctor supervised. I'm watching over that. And it is 100% safe, and the results are guaranteed. You read that manual more than once, and you do everything that we show you to do to a T, and you don't cheat. You will lose the weight. You will lose the fat, and we guarantee that. And if you don't, we'll put you through a second program at our expense. I have no problem giving you a written guarantee because it is a fail-safe, foolproof type of thing when you do it the way it's supposed to be done. The only question is the person on the other end committed to doing whatever it takes? And it's not that difficult, honestly.
Hi, my name's Larry. I've been on a program for a few days short of 2 months. My 40-day weight loss period, I lost 33 pounds. And my numbers across the board are great. I was taking one medication for blood pressure. I'm not taking that anymore. My metabolic age when I started here was 63, which wasn't bad because I'm 62. But after 40 days, it was 37, if you can believe that. My body mass index is healthy. Everything was great across the board.
So again, the most important thing about this is not just losing the weight, it's the health benefits. Non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, type 2 diabetes, gout, research showing improvement with all this, depression, sleep apnea, asthma, cardiovascular disease, hypertension, degenerative joint disease, just quality of life across the board will improve on every level for the person that does this. So we put thousands of people through this program.
Go?
Yes.
I'm Tom Brady. I've been, today's the 16th of April. I've been on the program my 43rd day now. I've lost a total of 25 pounds, and I've cut my insulin down to under a third of what I was taking.
Awesome.
So I'm going in the right direction. Program works.
Thank you. So proud of you. Thank you.
And it just come today. It's my 40th day, and I have lost 24 pounds. The thing I love most about this program is, for me, my energy level was way down. With this program, I'm more agile, flexible. I can play with my son. I'm not tired, so I would recommend this program to anyone. Maybe you might be skeptical, but it does work. Look at me.
Good job.
So just, I got this off of MSN.com just as a comparison. You've heard of Jenny Craig, Nutrisystem, Weight Watchers, In the Zone. These are all typical popular weight loss programs, and some of them go on for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months. You lose a pound a week. It takes a really long time. They're not doctor supervised. A lot of them you have to buy the food. There's prepackaged meals, there's chemicals in the food, not good. Also, you should know that none of these programs target fat burning. See that? No fat burning, no fat burning, no fat burning. And again, it goes on for a long time. There's no guarantee with any of them. They don't guarantee the results. And then if you look at the cost, it goes from anywhere from $1,800 to $4,500. Now, that may or may not be a lot of money. Everybody's different in terms of how they view it. But if you're just losing weight and you're dumping muscle and water and it leaves your metabolism worse than if you did nothing at all to begin with, then I think that's not a good deal. So relative to that and the results and the cost of things, here's our offer. Normally, like this, when we introduced this program a few years ago, when it first came out, it was $14.95, and people were doing it. People were getting the same great results that they always had, and that never changed. Tonight, we put out this newsletter. How many of you guys got our newsletter in the mail? In there was this offer for $6.95, and it said in that flyer limited to the first 10 participants only. All right, so you can see it's an $800 savings. And we said it's good till the end of this month. It's good to the 26th, which is the end of next week. Now, I will say this: 3 people started the program since we put that newsletter out. So there's only 7 spaces available left for that $800 discount. So that $695 is available for anyone here tonight who wants to take advantage of that. Again, it's first come, first serve. I would love for everybody who needs to do it, but there's the first 7 registered. Now, what do you get for that? The exclusive 4-phase ultimate fat loss program, the initial BCA, that weigh-in followed by all the 4 following weigh-ins, the food plan, the manual, the journal, the specialized mineral formula complex, the specialized fat loss complex, the one-on-one personalized coaching. Deborah is world class. Deborah has been doing this for a long time, and there's nobody better to help you and encourage you and just make sure that you get to the mountaintop. She's the best partner you can ever have with this. And then, again, like I said, we give you a guarantee. You can't lose with that. So, does that sound like a good deal? So the only thing that you have to do from here is just imagine what you're going to look and feel like 40 days from now. Imagine how good you are going to look and feel 40 days from now. So if that's something that you want to take advantage of, make sure you see them on the way out before you leave. And they'll make an appointment for you to set everything up. If you need to get any supplements for being here tonight, we want to bless you and give you the 15% off of any of the supplements that have an Ultraplex label on them, whatever you need. Tonight only, 15%. But we only do that for workshop attendees at the workshop. And also don't forget to schedule for next month's True Cellular Detox Workshop. So thanks for coming tonight. I love and appreciate you guys. God bless.
Thank you.